All right, let's talk about something that really affects every single one of us. It's all about our muscles, how they change over time, and most importantly, what we can do to stay strong and independent for life. You know that feeling, right? You go to open a jar and it just won't budge. Or maybe you notice you're a little more out of breath after climbing some stairs. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not just in your head. There's a real biological process happening, and once you understand what it is, you can actually start to fight back. So let's dive in. What exactly is this slow fade of strength that seems to creep up on us as we get older? Okay, just look at this number for a second. 3 to 8%. That's how much muscle mass we can lose every single decade after we hit 30. And, this isn't some far off problem for old age. It starts way earlier than most of us think. And believe me, it really picks up speed after 60. Yeah, this whole process actually has a name. It's called sarcopenia. And look, this is so much more than just looking less toned. We're talking about the involuntary loss of muscle mass, the loss of muscle strength, and the loss of muscle function. See, it's a triple threat: mass, strength, and function. All three are key. And this is why we have to pay attention. Sarcopenia is absolutely not just a cosmetic thing. It has huge, real-deal consequences for our health. It's like a domino effect. It seriously increases your risk of falls and injuries, which can lead to a loss of independence. But it goes deeper. It's also tied to a whole bunch of metabolic issues. Think higher body fat, insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and even a greater risk for heart disease and osteoporosis. It's a big deal. So, the big question is, why? Why does this happen? What's really going on under the hood that's causing our muscles to weaken? Well, it turns out sarcopenia is a pretty complex issue. There's not just one single culprit. It's a mix of things, really. We're talking about having fewer muscle cells, the nerve signals to our muscles slowing down, big hormonal shifts, even our mitochondria, the powerhouses of our cells, don't work as well. But the one thing that really ties all of this together: inactivity. That's a huge piece of the puzzle. And check this out. This is a really critical metabolic change. In a young muscle, insulin is like a loud, clear signal to build protein. It's very efficient. But as muscle ages, it can start to become insulin resistant. It's like the signal to build and repair is getting lost in static. So even if you have all the right building blocks ready to go, the instructions just aren't getting through. And that really messes up the whole process. Okay, so that's the problem and some of the reasons why it happens. And I know it can sound a little bit grim, but here's the really, really good news. We are not helpless here. Not at all. So let's flip the script and talk about how we can fight back, starting with the single most powerful tool we have. Yep, it's really that simple, and honestly, that powerful. The science on this is crystal clear. While lots of things play a role, when it comes to fighting age-related muscle loss, exercise is, without a doubt, our #1 weapon. So you might be asking, okay, what kind of exercise is best? Well, the most effective plan isn't just one thing. It's more like a two-pronged attack. You need both resistance training and aerobic exercise. They're both absolutely crucial, but they help us in very different, very complementary ways. Let's break that down a bit. Think of resistance training, lifting weights, using bands, even just your own body weight, as the tool for building muscle quantity. It directly tells your body to add more muscle and get stronger. That's called hypertrophy. Then you have aerobic exercise, things like a brisk walk, a bike ride, swimming. This is all about improving the quality of your muscle. It makes the muscle you have healthier and more functional. And this is a big one. It helps fight that insulin resistance we were just talking about. See? You really do need both. All right, so movement is one half of the battle, but you can't build a house without bricks, right? The other, equally important half of the equation is fuel. You've got to give your body the right raw materials to do the job. So let me ask you a question, and be honest with yourself. Are you eating enough protein? Because here's something that surprises a lot of people. As we get older, our protein needs don't just stay the same. In many cases, they actually go up. So the standard guideline for protein is usually around 0.8 grams per kilogram of your body weight. But a growing body of research suggests that for older adults, especially if you're trying to hold on to or even build new muscle, that number should probably be higher. We're talking more in the ballpark of 1 gram per kilogram per day, maybe even a little more. But wait, it gets a little more specific than that. It's not just about hitting a total protein number. You see, the real building blocks are amino acids, and it's the essential amino acids that really kickstart muscle growth. And here's a fascinating detail. You know how a lot of protein supplements add in a bunch of carbs? Well, for older adults, that can actually blunt the muscle building response. So the real goal here is something called anabolic efficiency. It means getting the most muscle building bang for your caloric buck. Okay, let's pull all of this together. Yes, sarcopenia is a real, serious challenge that comes with aging. But, and this is the most important part, it is not your destiny. This story does not have to be one of slow decline. I really want to leave you with this one powerful idea from the research. It says that aged muscle is still very plastic. I love that word plastic. It means it's still changeable, it's adaptable, it can be reshaped. It means that even as we get older, our muscles never lose the ability to respond to the right signals, those anabolic or building signals from exercise and good nutrition, and to actually get bigger and stronger. This isn't just some motivational fluff, it's a physiological fact. So, what's the bottom line here? It's that the choice is really up to us. Sure, losing muscle might be the default setting as we age, but it's a setting we have the power to change. So try to think about movement and nutrition not as chores, but as investments. Investments in your future self, your future mobility, your future independence, your future vitality. So the only question left is, how are you going to invest in your future strength?